Like the Real Housewives of Max Verstappen up in here.
Checo's checked out.
Joe Lonnie was off the track. That steak is cooked.
A lot is at stake for Steak F1.
Man, even the broadcast couldn't handle that stat.
My heart almost was screaming like, how can anybody be a Lewis Hamilton fan?
No.
Not on my 2024 bingo card.
Yeah, we're gonna have to create a new one now.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Lights Out Latest. My name is Marina, and I'm here with Steven, Jason, and Tristan. And today we're doing what I'm going to call an F1 mock draft. Call it a racing draft, call it a fantasy draft, whatever it is. We're going to build our own F1 team, including a bunch of categories. Before we do that, headlines for the week. Ollie Bearman confirmed to be racing to replace Kevin Magnussen in Baku. Thoughts?
Very interesting.
Not surprised.
No, yeah, it's not surprising.
I was going to say.
I mean,
we
he
needs
needs more seat time.
He does need more seat time.
This is good.
I mean, I feel like we got all our thoughts and feelings on him being in the car last week. It's just like, we're ready for it. We're ready for him. I think both teams, Ferrari and Haas, want him to be in the seat. And it's going to happen probably. So, I mean, yeah.
I thought it was really interesting that I kept seeing tweets or like messages saying that the only reason they hadn't put it out yet was because they were waiting for Ferrari's approval, which I think is really funny because he is still a Ferrari test driver. He's still their reserve driver. So if anything were to happen on, to Charles or Carlos, they'd have to pick someone else. So they had to clear it with them first, which I think is really funny.
Always have Mick Schumacher.
Ooh.
Well, what nobody is talking about this is that after this race ban, penalty points go back to 0.
I said this in Fun Fact Friday.
There's only 7 more races, and, does this give him a license to be an absolute menace now?
Yes.
I'm sure.
This is the thing because
not that they wasn't going to be anyway.
We've talked about who's going to fill what's left, the Audi seat, and I don't think it's 100% not going to be him.
Well,
so he's out of F1, and correct me if I'm wrong, but these points issued by the FIA in F1 don't apply for other series, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, they don't.
So you are free he's free to race however he so pleases for the rest of the year, given that he has 7 races. Usually each incident is roughly 2 points. So if he doesn't want to get banned for Abu Dhabi, he can receive a penalty in
it's still possible.
6 of the last 7 races.
It's always possible.
Oh yeah.
He can still get banned again, but I don't think he will.
He get 3 penalties in 1 race.
Oh, yeah.
And that means he only needs 2 races to get banned again.
Is there like a maximum amount of penalty points you can accumulate in like 1 race?
I want to say if he were to get banned twice, they probably would it would be a further suspension, not just 1 race.
I was going to say.
And it potentially would just be something where they're like, he can't come back.
I was going to say, at what point do they draw a line? Just like, okay, this is obviously just your racing style. We can't have you back in the sport.
Yeah.
Party's over.
Sure. For sure. Now, 2 rumors that I want to talk about. The first one is that according to BBC, Adrian Newey has signed with Aston Martin.
It's great.
For 30 million euros a year, which to me is a low ball. Not going to lie.
I mean,
feel like he should be making more
Lewis
than that.
If Lewis is getting 50, I think this is perfect amount.
I was going to say, this is like driver range money.
Yeah, no way they would be getting that much.
Okay, you will probably never hear me say this again.
Uh-oh.
Adrian Newey was more important to any of the championships that Red Bull won than Max Verstappen.
Wow.
In my opinion, Adrian Newey, he's gotten to the point in his career where he should be paid as a driver or more.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
30 million is already better than a lot of the drivers, but he's worth more than, like I just said, I think he's worth more than Max. I think he's worth more than Lewis. That puts him in the 50 million range.
It's comparable to like the Bill Belichick / like Nick Saban kind of status where those 2 men in general, like for example, Bill also has 7 championships to his name.
Yeah.
Nick, I don't know how many college championships he has.
Well, I think Adrian Newey has like 14.
Yeah. You get to the point where it's like, all right, well, clearly some part of this equation crucially is not the driver, and it's the man who's building the car.
Exactly.
And the man who's building that car has won 14 championships. Yeah. He 100% deserves, the payment.
By the way,
motorsports is much more of a team sport than people realize. Like, you only see the driver winning.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but it's much more of a sport like any team sport, like soccer, football. A good coach can really turn around a team, and one good player, like one good driver, can't manufacture tons of wins. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
LeBron James, but even then, they're not winning every year.
No.
They
Yeah.
might get to playoffs, but they're not winning every year.
Yeah,
I must just say, by the way, did a Red Bull fan just admit that Max Verstappen isn't the reason why Red Bull is winning?
No, he's the reason why they're still decent. But no, you can't win a championship just with a good car. We've
No.
seen that.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
I
It's
will
true.
I will make the argument, and LH fans will absolutely shit on me for this, and I don't care. Pardon my French. Lewis Hamilton had the better car in 2021. Mercedes built
know
the better
this.
car in
We know
2021.
Yeah, especially at the end of the year.
They'll argue
Yeah.
that. They'll
Yep.
argue that to the
End
end
of
of
the
the
year, yeah.
earth. They'll argue that to the end of the earth.
Yeah.
But if they had crashed out, Max still would have won on count back for most wins. The driver makes the difference. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't win. Even an amazing driver can't win with a bad car.
Right.
So
It's the whole argument of driving a car. I mean, I know it's this
Yeah, I
a
mean,
bad driver can't win
that's
with an
why-
amazing car either.
that's
I
why
don't think
Logan
Logan
Sargent-
Sargent would win if he was in the McLaren.
No. Yeah.
No, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it sucks to say it, especially because he's an American.
We don't.
We always root for the Americans.
Yeah.
Better get an IndyCar seat.
Doesn't matter what you're talking about. If you're talking about racing, U.S. Open, the whole crowd is behind Taylor Fritz. Unfortunately, he lost, but as an American, you typically root for the Americans,
Yeah.
except for last night because I was rooting for Sabalenka, but that's a different topic. But I'm still saying that Logan would not have won if he was in a good team. He's a strong driver, but he's not the strong driver.
I just
Yeah.
wonder how
not
committed
special.
he is.
No
Is
offense.
he ready to walk in and turn around and manufacture an incredible program?
Adrian Newey?
Or is this Lewis Hamilton kind of move to Ferrari where this will be my last job?
I think if he
you
was
go
looking
out.
to turn around a team, he would have gone to Williams. I think
That's a
he's
fair
looking
point.
to come in and play
Aston
more of a
Martin,
consulting
yeah.
role.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It
Whereas
seems
they're already supposedly on an uptrend. They're supposed to be getting better. I think realistically they just didn't take a step from last year to this year. They got stuck in the development somewhere, and his job is going to be to find whatever they're missing and bring them to the top. I think.
Yeah.
It's not like you're coming from scratch. He's not going to build car from zero. Well, he is in 2026, but that would be my best guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the other rumor, also related to Red Bull, apparently Jean-Pierre Labiasi, otherwise known as GP, who's Max races engineer, was offered a contract at Ferrari to be Lewis Hamilton's race engineer, and he said no, and then proceeded to sign a new contract with Red Bull. Wrong move, given what we know now.
Maybe.
potentially.
We'll have to see. I mean, I think it could be the right move. I just think, it depends on really the fallout with Red Bull at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if y'all saw in the group chat. I saw how Max Verstappen now wants Checo as his teammate, which is probably, I know we've talked about it before, it's probably like a press thing. He probably had to say that. He probably wasn't going to say, oh, I don't want Checo as my teammate,
Wow.
but
He hasn't said anything otherwise.
No, yeah,
No.
it's
He's
true.
never said I don't want Checo as his teammate, but also I don't think he would ever say that. I
Yeah.
think that as much as people will hate on Max for certain things he'll say in the media, or that he's kind of no BS, and I think in a way, I don't think it's fully PR. I don't think he hates Checo as a teammate. I think they get on well. I think the latter half of that statement was, we get on well, we're friends, he's a great guy, which I don't doubt.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a good guy, he seems funny, whatever, but
Yeah.
the question, and it's also not up to him to decide.
No.
Just like they kept asking George Russell whether or not he wanted Kimi as a teammate or Sainz as a teammate. That's not my decision.
Yeah.
I can give my input and I can say I think he's a good driver, I think he's not a good driver, I think he'd be hard to work with or not.
Unless Max just pulls a LeBron, it becomes the team principal.
Yeah, literally.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
the other thing, of course, if you're Max, you're sitting there like, well, if I have Checo as my teammate, automatically I'm going to get more attention and no competition. I mean,
that is true.
Yeah,
That
it
is
reminds
true.
me of if only he could have been Bottas level. Lewis Hamilton
Yeah.
always praised Bottas. But at
Bottas
least
was the ultimate two driver.
Bottas was on it because over time Lewis Hamilton would beat him no problem. But whenever Lewis Hamilton had an off week, or even when Lewis Hamilton was doing good, Bottas still had that level where he could get pole position, get second place, get
Yeah.
a few wins, even against
Absolutely.
Lewis. 2020 started with a Bottas win, not a Lewis win.
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
Lewis's most dominant
Do
year.
you think that had Bottas left Mercedes in 2020 and not 21, Red Bull would have tried to pick him up because they picked up Perez at the end of 2020?
Oh, for sure.
I think so.
I think
Yeah.
he would have been on the roster. 100%.
Absolutely.
Or maybe in the, thinking about stage.
Well, what was happening then? we had Perez in a midfield car, outperforming the car, destroyed his teammate, and in the race in Qatar.
But look at who his teammate was.
It was Sakir.
Like,
he
that's
went
not
from
that impressive, no
last
offense.
to first. He
Yeah.
went from
Who
last
was it
to
again?
That was a
first.
great
Esteban
defense
Ocon,
Stroll.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
was it Ocon?
Ocon and
Yeah.
Stroll.
But he went from last to first, Perez.
That was a great race.
He even fought Albon and overtook it. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to Red Bull. Like, that was the decider. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it would have been tight.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say another thing that you probably will never hear me say again.
Man, we got 2 for 2.
I don't think Sergio Perez is a bad driver.
I don't think
not
that's a
think-
hot
he's a
take.
bad
I was
do
gonna say, I
not
don't think that's a hot take.
that he is incapable of winning races.
Yeah.
I think it's in him.
It
His
is.
problem is he has a mental block where when he gets into he'll have a bad race, which happens to everybody. It happens to Max, even considering Max's bad race is P5. That's fine. It happens to Max. It happens to Lewis. It happens to everybody. They all have bad races. But the difference is when he has one bad race, he spirals, and you
Yeah.
don't see him coming back from it,
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
makes sense. That's the big problem. That's the big issue. And honestly, what Red Bull really need right now is, like, I hate to say it, was like a psychologist. Like, can we get like a sports psychologist in here? I mean,
of course.
he's capable. You just said he had a great race, that race from last to first. He's had good races in the past. He's won races in the past. He won in Monaco. He won, where else did he win? He went in a lot of places.
Sakir, Monaco, Baku.
Yeah, I think he has, 3, 4? Maybe
Was
a little bit
Baku a
more.
win? Right? Yeah, Baku was
He
a
won
win.
in Baku.
Yeah.
He won in... God, he had to run a street
He
track.
didn't have a lot. He didn't have a lot of wins. He has some.
He has like
wins.
4,
Yeah, he's got
4
a
or
handful.
5, something like that.
Yeah.
So he's got a handful, but he's not a horrible driver. He's in
Any-
F1 for a reason.
Yeah,
besides
any
his money.
podium
Oh, yeah,
finisher
100%.
is
But-
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the exception of Lance Stroll, I had to throw that out there. I just wanted
He's
to see
good.
Jason's
He's just
reaction.
inconsistent.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm not so sure about that. Oscar Piastri said last week he was driving like it was his very first go-kart race. So
Yep, true.
anyways, let's move into the draft. Now, we wanted to do this because it's kind of it's already been the end of NFL draft season. So now we're going to draft our team. We have, I want to say there were 7 categories, but it'll be 8 picks. So it'll be 2 drivers, 1 test driver, 1 team principal, a race engineer, car livery, engine, and pit crew. As we go, there's a bit of a rule for each one. So as we go, I will go into the rule, and we're going to go myself, Jason, Steven, Tristan, and we'll snake. So starting with me, 2 drivers. Well, I'll start with 1 driver. Has to be a current F1, IndyCar, NASCAR, or F2 driver.
One
gonna be-
question before you start.
Go for
Is
it.
this for an F1 team or is this for like overall best racing team?
F1 team.
Okay,
This is
got
for an
it.
F1
That's
team.
actually a
so
great
they have to
question.
drive an F1 car.
And no
Okay.
repeats.
Interesting.
Makes
So
sense.
if I pick someone, Jason can't pick him, and so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
So far.
If
Oh.
You have another question?
no, I was literally just gonna say, I'm like, if you don't pick who I think you're gonna pick, I'm gonna be very.
No, she's
disappointed.
obviously picking who we think
Max
she's gonna
Verstappen?
pick. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's number
All
1.
I
so,
want to pick Lewis Hamilton.
I'm going to shock the world.
There's no way. I would not pick Lewis. Jason.
Oh,
it's your pick.
we're doing one at a time.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
one
snakes.
at one,
Okay.
one
So
at a
then
time.
I get
Okay.
2, and it's gonna wrap back around.
Gotcha. Charles Leclerc.
Steven.
Chuckles.
If you don't pick who I think you're going to pick.
He is totally gonna pick who you think.
I'll
he's gonna
pick Lando Norris.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's going Lando. Huh?
All right. You got 2 drivers, Tristan.
I think I'm in a tough spot here because I feel like that's the 3 best drivers that are in F1 currently.
Lewis and Fernando?
I don't know.
NASCAR? Nobody?
Well, the second pick is going to be a NASCAR driver, but I want the
Okay.
first one to be a true Formula 1 driver.
Oscar?
There is someone you can pick that has experience in NASCAR who's also was an F1.
Current?
No, not current.
Has to be a current F1.
Well, if we technically
IndyCar,
count,
NASCAR, F2.
technically, if we're not counting full-time drivers, Juan Pablo Montoya is
That's
making a
exactly
start
what I was gonna
in
say.
NASCAR this year.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that. That
Sure you
feels,
can.
that feels
You could.
illegal.
Sure you can.
No, you can
If-
do it. He's a current.
That's fine. If he's current.
Oh, then hell yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm absolutely
Okay.
doing
Go
that.
on.
Hell yeah.
JPG.
All right, and who's your
Or
other
Juan
pick?
Pablo. JPM. I don't know where the G came from. Oh, the G came from the next driver. So now we're going to go on to more of my side of expertise, but also this is a man that has driven multiple series. We find multiple success. I'm going with SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen.
Great
Good luck
pick.
spelling that. Marina. For the people that know NASCAR, they know that he has jumped from the Supercar Series in Australia, and he was rugged. He's a tough guy.
He's
he
awesome.
won his first ever Cup race when his first ever start, and he's good on road courses, and he's great in NASCAR. He's really good. He's really, really good.
All right. I respect it.
Yeah.
Steven?
I mean, it has to be Valtteri Bottas. I mean, come on.
Damn.
It
I
has
was
to
not
be.
expecting
All
that.
right, good pull.
It
I
has
like
to
it.
be.
So are you creating Ferrari, Jason?
I'm very tempted to, but I'm gonna go with Lewis Hamilton.
So you are
You
creating
are creating Ferrari.
Next year. I thought you meant this year. Yeah.
No,
Who's
you
your
mean
Ferrari?
Wow. Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton? I mean,
All right.
come on
Now
now.
I feel like I'm the one in a tough spot because...
But you have options.
Yeah, plenty of options.
You have options. You had a few
Kyle
good
Larson. Nobody's taking
Yes.
Kyle Larson.
No.
Yes.
She's mad. She's mad.
That's a
She called out her
driver.
darling boy.
Simply lovely, I must add.
Yeah, it was simply lovely.
I think there's a good amount of options here.
There's a lot of options here. I mean, the fact that I won't take Lewis. I refuse to take Lewis. So the fact that Lewis is going to be not on anybody's roster is crazy. 7-time world champion.
Well, that's what. No, Jason.
Yeah,
took it.
Jason.
Oh,
took-
oh,
yeah, I
sorry.
took Lewis.
Yeah.
Blanked. I'm going to take Fernando.
Not bad. Not bad.
Fernando Alonso.
Because, and
rookie.
this is not,
Yep.
this
The
is
rook.
probably not the best lineup. It's just that I really wanted to see Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen on the same team. I think that'd be so cool.
That's totally fair.
Test driver, I am taking. I'm torn between Carlos Sainz and Liam Lawson. Is that crazy?
Carlos Sainz technically classify as a test
No,
driver?
you can pick a current
You can
F1
pick any
driver.
driver.
Any
Oh,
driver.
Could be
okay.
your
All right, but it
third
has to be
driver.
F1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
No, it could be. It doesn't.
Well,
Hey, it says
F1,
right here.
NASCAR, IndyCar,
Yes,
F2.
yeah,
Anybody.
All right, I see. Okay.
That's
Anybody.
Well, here's the question. I don't think Liam Lawson counts as any of those, does he?
He's F2.
No, he's not.
He's not racing in F2.
He's not racing. He's
Oh,
racing in
really? Because he won last year.
Japanese Super Formula? Question mark. He was last year. I'm gonna go with Carlos Sainz.
Nice.
Good pull.
Okay.
Jason.
I'm gonna go with 2-time IndyCar Series champion Alex Palou.
Okay.
Good
Good pull.
three-time.
That's a good
Very
pull.
good pull.
Steven.
I'm kind of going with a nostalgic pick here.
Okay.
Chicken Bruno Senna.
Bruno.
But
he needs to be current.
He has to be current.
Has to be current.
Oh, you can't be outside? He's a race car driver, though.
What is he racing?
I have to look at the wiki here, but he is a current race car driver.
He's probably like an Argentinian second level Rally B. Like
Wow.
Well,
he hasn't.
if you want to take a rally driver, that's fine. Like, if you want to take Carlos Sainz Sr., that would work.
he is still racing, which is crazy.
Isn't he like in his 60s?
The reason why
Who's
I
that?
picked Bruno.
Carlos Sainz Sr.
Yeah, he's
Carlos
still
is-
doing the rallycross,
Yeah.
isn't he, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's rally
He,
driver.
he's done Dakar for
I
Audi.
will also accept, and this is kind of unfair to everybody that already picked, but I'll also accept MotoGP if you want to take MotoGP driver.
He,
that's
all right.
right.
Bruno is currently on. Wait. So from 2022 onwards, he's racing an electrical vehicle takeoff and landing racing series called Airspeeder.
Yeah, no, that's not going to cut it. Sorry.
He's racing VTOLs.
No.
To be fair, he has a
crazier than what
If
I
you want to
said.
take a Formula E driver, that's fine too.
What is
Okay.
this?
He has an FIA
Stoffel
Platinum
Van
license.
Dord.
This
Yes.
is what. Oh my God! This is what he's racing. That's crazy.
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
It looks like it's just a drone, but with like an F1 kind of body. To the I don't know. I don't
That's
think
cool.
it counts.
No,
That
that
doesn't
doesn't
count.
count.
It looks
Fine.
cool, but I couldn't even imagine he'd be.
You got a lot of options on the board.
I know.
That's like the most washed up has been career ever to go to obscure, cool, kind of interesting.
Well,
like,
the reason
series.
why I picked him,
Beatles.
the reason why I picked him in the first place is because he's like a. Well, I don't know if he's an official McLaren test driver, but
Do you know who you should pick?
Marcus Ericsson.
It's not bad.
Indy 500 winner and Indy 500.
I was thinking
runner
we're gonna
up.
go
You know
Indy.
what? You know what? I'll go Scott. Just because you just said IndyCar, I'm gonna go Scott Dixon. So,
Oh,
Okay.
Scott
Oh,
Dixon. All right.
Legend.
Great endurance series driver
Legend.
as well. He's done very.
I didn't
good
think
in
of endurance. That's a good one too.
No,
you
he's-
could have done
he's
endurance.
Antonio Giovinazzi.
Are you actually?
No, I
Oh,
already
it's not.
picked. I'm
it's
good.
Tristan's
It is
turn.
Tristan's turn. This is a good one because now you've got me thinking of so many different disciplines of racing. Because I'm like,
You can go endurance. We can.
Yeah,
pick
endurance is
as
another
well.
one I was thinking of too. But no, I'm gonna just go the IndyCar route. I'm gonna go with Joseph Newgarden.
Okay.
Oh,
Not bad,
really?
not bad.
I would have gone. Pato Award
I was
because
gonna
he's
say Pato's
been
good,
testing
too.
F1 cars. Like I don't
Yeah.
think Newgarden has ever driven an F1 car.
Well, no. So Newgarden actually went to the UK and when he was really young and was on that kind of route to
Yeah.
like try and get to F1, but he just ran out of money, so he came back to America. So I guess I was thinking more of like in a nostalgic route. It's like, what if he
Yeah.
ever got that money? What if he like maybe could have been successful?
I like that.
Maybe, you know.
You have the double pick again. So who is your team principal? Current or
Oh,
past?
we're gonna go like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
who is your? It'll be current or past team principal, F1 team principal. We can also accept NASCAR crew chief, or a fictional character.
I'm going fictional.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the first one to pick a fictional character. So that's awesome. For those who have seen Days of Thunder, Harry Hodge, Tom Cruise's crew chief, that's the man. That's the
There you
guy.
go.
He's Cole. I want you to go out there. I want you to hit the pace car. What do you mean hit the pace car? You hit everything else here today. I want you to hit the last thing you haven't hit.
Oh my god.
I won't
I
lie.
want
I've
Harry
never
Hodge.
seen that movie.
Oh my god, movie night soon. We're gonna watch
Yes,
Days of Thunder.
To be determined.
Oh yeah, TBD.
Steven, who's your team principal?
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go. I would say Christian Horner, but just because the controversy
wouldn't go
scares me
Christian
away. I'm gonna go Mike Crack.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice pull. I don't remember how to spell his last name, but that's fine.
There's no-
Krack.
Oh, I was right. Jason.
This is gonna be a very like methodical
Okay.
one. Martin Whitmarsh. He's been with McLaren since 1989. He
So
was
it's the
like
founding of McLaren.
chief of crew
Didn't spell that right either.
until 2008, and then he was team principal of McLaren until 2014. Honestly, did a ton of winning between 89 and 2014, and now he is CEO of Aston Martin Racing.
That's awesome.
So he's like Mike Crack's boss. So Steven, I'm sorry, but I'll just fire your guy. That's what.
Well, we're on
So-
different teams. That'd be illegal.
I'm really in between two people here.
Christian
don't think
Horner and
it's-
Tono
no.
Wolff.
No, and I don't think it's people you would actually. I'm in between Toto and James.
Fouls, really.
I really like James Vowles. I don't think he's been properly media trained, like we talked about last
James
year.
Vowles
Vowles is
okay.
great. He
Last pod.
says like I listen to a few podcasts
I think he's
about
really
him.
smart.
He is insane. That's
I
why I
think
have
he's really
the
smart.
Williams shirt.
The
at home.
problem-
only reason.
The only thing is, Toto is so good. Like, all respect, I'm not a Mercedes fan. I will never be a Mercedes fan.
Should've gone
Unless
with
Max
Ross
goes to
Brawn.
Mercedes. And then we'll see. But he's just so good. I think I'm going to have to go Toto Wolff.
I'm sorry, I fumbled here. I should have gone with Ross Brawn or Gene Todt. Ross Brawn would have been better. Because he built Michael Schumacher's career from Benetton to Ferrari, and
Gene
then
Todt would
he
have been a
set
good
up
one,
Braun
too.
GP and he won, and then he went to Mercedes and set up the incredible run before Toto Wolff arrived.
Yeah.
Like, actually, that would have been a better. That would have been a
The
better
only
pick
thing I
than
would
Martin
say to
Whitmarsh.
that is he still in F1?
No, he doesn't.
Well, see that's the only.
Well, it's
caveat.
current or past.
Well,
Team
no.
principal.
I was just gonna say because then you have to. It's the whole argument of what do you succeed in this era?
Very true.
Sure, yeah.
Very true.
He was on the committee for the 2022 regulations. Like after leaving Mercedes, he got a job with F1, and he worked for F1 as like head of racing competition. Like he basically makes the rule book now. I think he retired from that, but that was his job for the
That's
past
cool.
few years.
Love that. It's my pick again.
Yes.
Pick F1 race engineers, current or past, or a fictional character. I'm going to go with GP, Max's race engineer, because I think he is absolutely the best.
Good
and
point.
GP and Max, the married couple on the grid, have to stay together.
They have to stay together.
Cool.
Big
Jason.
Ooh, I actually changed it last second. I was gonna go first. I thought I gotta go with Xavi Marcos for the memes. You know, the Ferrari
Javi?
guy. Yeah, yeah. And then I was gonna go with the current guy because Xavi got kind of fired, Brian Bozzi.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with James Allison.
Whose
He is
race engineer is that?
incredible. So he helped out Braun GP. Then he's been at Mercedes. He was like literally head of race engineering for Mercedes. He made the famous call of Valtteri. It's James. You gotta let Lewis.
I think
through.
a lot of people think
Oh,
that's
that was
James
him?
Vowles.
Yeah, yeah, it was him.
Okay.
I think a lot of people think
I
that's
thought it was James
Vowles.
Allison, right? Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh no! Did I make a
Yeah,
mistake?
I think it was James Vowles.
I don't think so.
James-
No?
I think it was.
Well, either
When did
way,
James Allison leave the
Allison is,
team?
F1. Let me see. Where's he? He's still at Mercedes. He's the technical director right now.
Can you show me a picture?
It says,
He's this guy.
yeah,
he used to work for Ferrari.
It says here that it was
Yeah.
James Vowles.
Is
oh,
it?
well, then I messed up on my history.
At least GP today
So
says
this
that.
guy was with Ferrari since 2000. Then he went to Renault for only Fernando Alonso's 2 championships. So basically, you could credit all to him because he was only there for 2005 and 6, and then he started losing. Oh, wait, no, this is just a list of his championships, not even his career. Oops. Look how long that list is. That's 11 championships he's gotten. So I'm just leaving it at James Allison. Sorry about that.
Okay.
It's all good.
Steven.
I'm going to go Gordon Murray.
Wow. Major win.
Interesting.
I love the current car he has going on now. I believe he helped design the McLaren F1.
Like the OG McLaren.
Thank God fans can't see my notes because I'm taking notes on the teams and I can't spell to save my life. So
He's also the designer of the Brabham fan car, if you guys remember that from the back in the day.
Oh yeah. That's
a long
right.
time ago.
I'm pretty sure that
car
banned.
literally lasted one race, and they were like, "This needs to go. It's going to destroy the sport."
You know who's team principal of that team?
Who?
Bernie Eccleston.
That's a
crazy.
great
That's
name.
a throwback.
And he's
Crazy.
still alive. Like, he was on the grid. The man is like 89. He's fully lucid. He's still walking without a cane. Like,
Good for a man.
what does he do? I want to do what
Jackie
he
Stewart.
does.
He sold his soul to the devil,
Like, how-
Jason. That's why he's able to stay alive.
That
crazy.
makes a lot of sense.
That's crazy.
But he's like still. I don't get it. How is he still like rocking and rolling? Like, he looks 20 years younger than he is, which is not saying much because I would be 78. But still, it's crazy.
How old is Jackie Stewart?
Jackie Stewart's
he's
pretty
got to be in
old.
his
He's
90s,
his
isn't he?
90s, I'm pretty
Because
sure.
he also walks without a cane and is pretty much fully
he's
lucid.
right. Jackie's like
Yeah, he's
active.
rolling too.
Yeah.
He's
Which is
rolling.
Well, yeah,
crazy.
he still
Jackie
drives.
is
And they
85
say
years old.
tennis is the healthiest sport in the world. I'd like you to take a look at past drivers. No,
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. If you that list is
How
terrible.
old's Richard Petty? Richard Petty's just vibing.
I don't think he's that old.
87. He's older than Jackie Stewart.
Wow.
How old
Yeah.
is Jackie Stewart?
Can-
86?
85.
Can you fact check me on Bernie Ecclestone's
Richard
age?
Petty has looked the same for like the past 12 years.
I swear.
He
How old
wears-
is Bernie Eccleston?
Oh, Bernie Eccleston?
Yeah,
He's
fact
got to
check
be
me on
older.
that.
There's no
I
way.
think it's 98, but he's walking without a cane.
He's 93.
Okay, 90. That's still
That's
up
still
there.
old.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
old, yeah.
that's still up there. Like, I feel like the oldest people I know are like my grandparents, and they're like in their 70s.
Oh, maybe I should have chose him as team principal. He would have been a rocking guy to have like crazy, insane
at
guy.
93, it'd be epic.
Hey, it would just make it crazier,
That'd
right?
be like having
great.
Yoda in your ear.
Okay, blow the car up. We're done.
All right.
Start again.
Who we at? Has Steven picked? So
Race
It is
engineer,
my
yeah.
turn, I believe.
your race engineer and your car livery.
Yes. So,
Oh.
engineer, I'm going to go with Bono.
With Bono,
I like Bono. I think he's cool.
I
Bono,
love Bono.
not Bono.
Oh, is it? I didn't think he had the same Bono as like what's it called? Who's the lead singer of band Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Bono, like literally
Yeah,
Bono.
yeah. I know.
No, we can't be messing this up.
Is
Huh?
it you two?
It's you two. Yes,
Yes,
the lead singer
yes,
you
there
two.
you go.
I thought their names were different. That's why.
I mean, you
okay,
could
'cause
go with Bono.
I could go to Bono, the lead singer of you
I mean,
two.
morale would be through the roof.
Oh yeah. Bono, can you just sing to me during the race?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
team
up?
radio, like your drivers.
I have to hear the
Who are
news
your drivers?
You know the problem with choosing someone like Bernie Eccleston as your team principal? He talked too slowly on the radio.
It's true.
You might fall asleep to
Yeah.
his directions.
The man owns a racetrack with sprinklers, so he can make it wet.
With
whenever he
sprinklers
wants
is
to.
of note.
With
Like,
sprinklers.
I think it was.
Why was that so important?
was
to say?
Well, because he can make it wet whenever he
Oh,
wanted
I see.
They actually did F1 testing there in 14 or 15, and they needed the track to be wet to test the wet tires. So it's like, do it at my track. I got sprinklers. It could be wet anytime.
I got
Yeah, come to
sprinklers.
my place. I got sprinklers.
You losers
man.
don't have sprinklers. I got sprinklers.
His conversations always end with, "But does it have sprinklers?"
Yeah, and back in 2018, I think it was 2018, they need to do the wet weather testing for Pirelli in Barcelona, and Barcelona doesn't have sprinklers for the track.
Barcelona
So they
doesn't
bought
have
on
that.
giant water trucks to spray the track.
That's crazy.
So I'm sure Bernie was like, oh, cut that at my place. What are you doing, guys?
Yeah,
Like,
that was a
are we
huge waste of money. You
doing
could have
here?
just turned on my sprinklers.
well,
but
honestly,
okay.
he'd probably charge F1 more to just show up
Oh,
rather
absolutely.
than
Absolutely.
just
He'd
for the
be
water
like a
trucks.
rapper. He would charge you to like have his.
he would charge cover for the pit lane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Tristan, who is your, or what is your car livery? Current
So
or past F1 livery?
if people know the lore of Lights Out Latest, they know that I made a video
Oh,
a very long time
we know
ago
what this is.
I know exactly what
about
you're
my
doing.
favorite liveries, actually, in F1. And number one in that video was the John Player Special Lotus, the black and gold. Specifically, the Lotus 77. I really like the look of that car in general. So that is the scheme that I'm going to... Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I want to call them paint schemes, but I know the
Same
Europeans
difference.
Liveries.
Europeans call them liveries, so that's
It's
okay
fine.
with me.
Stickers.
You can call it whatever you want.
Stickers.
Steven.
Yeah, so I'm
Livery.
kind of torn here. Can this be outside of Formula One or no?
It depends what.
I will
outside you
lose my
wanna go.
mind. At the beginning of the
Cannot
podcast.
go to NASCAR.
I was
No,
gonna
we
say,
can't.
if it was
No
NASCAR,
NASCAR.
I would
let
have.
you.
Man.
No, I think let's stick to F1 for this one.
Okay.
Alright.
So
I mean,
that everybody
I'm
knows
just
what you're talking about.
I'm gonna go classic martini.
Oh, very nice.
Classic martini.
Mm-hmm.
Just go 2016 Williams. That's all you need is 2016 Williams.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
I can't change my answer now, can I?
Jason hasn't gone yet, so
Okay.
I think you can.
I was
Jason,
just gonna,
rapidly.
I
Go,
was-
Jason.
I was just gonna go McLaren's Golf livery.
Okay.
Oh, there
There
you
you
go.
go. The
There you
Monaco
go. You
Golf
saved
livery.
yourself there.
All right.
Yep. Me, I got a really weird one. I mean, there's
Okay.
so many good ones. Like, almost went with 2008 BMW.
Ooh.
That looked incredible.
Oh my god, with the white and blue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm only going with 2017 Haas late in the year, because start of the year they had it in red, middle of the year they had it in white, end of the year they had a mix.
You're going with the gray.
Yeah, that one.
This is
Look at
the
shark
ugliest
fin.
car I've ever
Look at the
looked
shark
at.
fin. Look at the
I
shark
don't
fin.
care about the shark fin. It's ugly.
It has graphics.
You looked at a Crayola. You would look at a Crayola box and be like, "Ah, yes, I will now be drawing my car gray." Like,
Well, okay, so I like that you mentioned that, right? Because my pick, if you ask a
Red Bull fan.
kid to draw a car, he'll color it red.
I was gonna
So-
say, if somebody isn't gonna take the McLaren,
Ferrari.
Oh,
The McLaren.
what?
What year Ferrari?
I thought you were gonna say like the
Marlboro?
'90s McLaren. It's
It
the most
better be-
iconic
No.
look ever.
Oh, 2017 Ferrari. I should have done
So-
that. Take 2017 Ferrari. That is a great looking car.
I don't know what year I want.
Look at the gloss red, Tristan.
That's
I mean,
true.
come on.
2017 Ferrari is
2017 is a good one.
phenomenal looking.
2017
Let him
is the one. I'll
change
go with
his.
that one.
I'm allowing him to change
All right,
his.
I'm
Because
gonna
the last
go
one was bad.
Well,
Ferrari.
not 2017 because I just took that one because that's the one I want.
What?
All right, that's fine. I'll be Haas.
2016.
Okay.
You're still going
Here.
with Haas.
Y'all can trade picks, maybe.
Yeah, if you want to trade at the end, that's fine.
Trade. Who's
Trading for
taking
draft
Haas
picks.
off of it?
Not me. I'm just saying it's out
I'm
there, I
gonna
guess.
take okay
the Haas off of
engines.
it.
Any of the current. There's only 4 of them. Any of the current F1 engine manufacturers. That would be Honda, Ferrari, Mercedes, or Renault. I apologize to Tristan because you're most definitely going to get Renault, so I
Yeah.
can write that down
That's
right now.
okay.
Um,
I'm okay with that.
Well, could this be past or
I will-
present?
only the present 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take the.
About to say Ferrari there, were you?
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna take the Honda. That's for damn sure.
That's fair.
It's got to be the Mercedes,
It's
right?
got to be the Mercedes or the Ferrari, and I think
In this era, because of limited engine development, like engines aren't even a factor anymore.
yeah, I don't
Like,
think it really
it
matters.
used to be
I'm gonna go with
such-
the Ferrari just because I don't like Mercedes.
It used to be such a factor. Like even 2017-18, like you'd hear there'd be an engine upgrade, changed the face of everything.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. Or like
Yeah.
2019 when Ferrari came out with that ripping engine, like so fast, faster than any other team on the straights, and finally beat Mercedes in the engine game.
Yeah.
Anyways, that means I'm going with Mercedes.
Honda or Renault, Steven? I'm guessing you're going Honda, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'd probably go Honda.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that leaves Tristan with Renault.
Hey, you like
Um,
those suits, right?
I do like
Tristan?
those suits.
Yeah, you do
Sorry,
like it.
I'm
He-
like,
he like-
I'm,
he likes
I'm
the Haas
trying to
colors.
sell. No, I'm trying to
He
sell
likes
myself on why Jason made this horrible
likes
decision. The 2017 Haas car. Like, certainly there's something he sees that I don't. And every image I look at, it's
Is
like, oh, the car
2018
looks
better?
worse. it's just not good.
Okay, your pick for pit crew then.
Me for pit crew. I'm gonna go with McLaren.
Oh.
Wow, that's shooketh.
They had the fastest time last year.
They did. They've improved a
Steven?
lot.
I'll just go
Great
Red Bull.
That's what I was gonna
Red
say.
Bull,
Okay,
yeah.
Red Bull,
No, I gotta get some
Great.
papaya on my tribe.
Jason.
Papaya rules,
It
baby.
can't be Williams. It can't be Alpine.
It can't be
I
Sauber.
gotta
either.
go with Mercedes. They've
That's
pulled
what I
off
was
a
gonna
couple
say,
of
if you
double
don't go
stacks.
Mercedes.
Yeah,
Mm.
gotta
So
be Mercedes.
that leaves me in a tough choice because I'm sure as hell not going Ferrari.
No, bad. No good.
But that's the top
Haas?
teams. Haas makes terrible pit stops.
I was
They're
gonna say,
almost as
what
bad
about
as-
Aston? Is Aston?
That's what I'm saying.
Aston's
Aston's not
fine.
too bad.
They're good. Go with Aston.
I was gonna say, what is the next best choice? It's probably Haas.
Alpine had the fastest pit stop last week.
Alpine.
Not gonna lie.
What?
They kind of have.
Can I
an
consult
upward trend.
DHL?
DHL.
What's that?
DHL fastest pit stop.
Oh,
I thought you had
This-
someone you were gonna call up or
I was
something.
gonna say this girl.
You call up
knows
the
what we
post
want.
office to
I
give
forgot
you
what the hell they
picking
called
place?
it.
It's crazy. Unacceptable.
Okay. I'm just. This is gonna be a crazy pool, but I'm just gonna go Alpine.
Why not?
Fine.
Okay. That concludes the draft. So to review,
Draft.
I have Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso as my drivers, with Carlos Sainz as my reserve, Toto Wolff as my team principal, GP as my race engineer. For the 2017 Ferrari with the 2017 Ferrari livery with the Ferrari engine and the Alpine pit crew. Jason has Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton with Alex Palou as his reserve. Martin Whitmarsh as his team principal, James Allison as his race engineer. The 2017 Haas, which is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Are you
as
looking
this
at it
livery.
too?
You don't like
just
the
remember
shark
it.
fin at all.
Dude,
I just remember it
the
was-
shark fin was on every car though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did something. Like Sauber left it black. Like it was blank.
I will say,
It's
I mean,
blank.
I don't want to
It's
interrupt you, Marino, but they
Go
do
for it.
have the driver name on the shark fin. Like this is the
Oh.
best picture of it for sure.
Looks so good.
But it's still just not great. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
It's
looks like someone
terrible.
color blocked gray.
It's terrible. Anyways, he's got the Mercedes engine and the Mercedes pit crew. Steven's got Lando and Valtteri, Bottas with Scott Dixon as their backup, Mike Crack as his team principal, Gordon Murray as his race engineer with the McLaren Golf livery from, was that Monaco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honda engine, Red Bull pit crew. Tristan's got Juan Pablo Montoya. Who's your second?
Shane Van Gisbergen.
There
but
you go.
everyone calls him SVG because nobody knows how to
SVG
say
it
his
is.
name.
Joseph Newgarden as his reserve with Harry Hodge as his team principal.
We're watching that movie.
Bono as his race engineer, the Black and Gold Lotus, which is the best livery in F1 history, in my professional opinion.
Boom. So if I did,
And-
wait, if I didn't take it, you would have taken it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go.
Why not the 2019 Haas? Basically the same thing.
So
Right?
Haas doesn't
Right.
do good liveries.
The rich
point blank.
energy.
Period.
Okay, wait.
Cooking.
It
Cooking,
does
you
look
tell
good,
it.
but it does not compare.
I
It
will
does not.
say.
Look.
I will say.
It's that black and gold Haas.
I was
It
gonna
was
say,
one of
yeah,
my
the
least
rich
favorite
energy
Haas
wasn't
livers.
bad.
Yeah, no, the Rich Energy car actually looked pretty good.
It's not terrible, but they're just that.
It's in the wall.
We
in that
don't know
photo.
Haas.
the front wing's completely gone.
I think every picture of that car, except for the original posting of "This is our livery for the year," is them in the wall.
Yeah, probably.
That applies for pretty much any year except for this year.
Look at the launch. photos.
Anyways,
What a carpet.
Tristan's got the Renault engine and the McLaren pit crew. So obviously, let us know who you think has the best team. I think we should decide who won this.
I have the
between us.
most creative team.
That is for sure. That is for sure.
I don't know.
I
I'd
took
make an
Total Wolff
argument to say
with
that I have the best team.
Total Wolf.
That's not biased.
Let me look at it again.
2017
Punch
Ferrari.
these numbers here.
The only thing I totally disagree with is Alpine pit crew.
Well,
think
who
they're
would
all
you have
that great.
taken?
Oh yeah.
I would have taken above them Aston Martin.
Aston?
Yeah. Or we're forgetting about RB. They're like so nowhere.
RB is
yeah.
pretty good at pit stops too. Yeah, they had a couple passes pit
Yep.
stop this year. That would have, yeah. But the rest of my team is
Juan
phenomenal.
Pablo. Are we talking about prime Juan Pablo or now Juan Pablo?
I want to say now.
I would think it would have to be now.
That's so upsetting because then I wouldn't have done that.
Okay. If
I
okay,
chose Juan Pablo.
Here's the
like,
question: If it was,
I would have changed a lot
prime,
of things if it was in his prime.
If it was in his prime, would you think that your team is better than mine?
No. I don't think I have the best team, but I do love my team.
Marina
Okay.
probably does.
I
have
think
Let's do
Marina
this.
has the best team.
Well, I was gonna say we can go
Yeah.
around if you want to rank the teams 1 to 4.
Tough deal because I have a feeling that Alex Palou might be better than Carlos Sainz long term. If Alex was to have gotten into Formula One, maybe at an earlier
I think
He
he'd
age.
still be
might.
there.
He still
I
could.
think if you had
Yeah.
gone into F1,
What if he
would
gets
still
Saudi
be there.
seat?
Not gonna happen. You know who I think? We talk about this. Who do you think is gonna get the Audi seat? Because I think it's gonna be Gabriel
There's
Bortoleto.
so many rumors. Like I just saw another one. Totally confirmed Sebastian Vettel in the seat. Like,
I
I'm
did
like,
see
well-
that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That'd be
No,
funny.
there's no way.
He,
There's no way.
He enjoys his private life and his family too much.
No, I think so.
I don't
think
even
so.
wanna,
I think like Kimmy does as well. Like
Yeah.
Kimmy is still Kimmy's racing some
Robin
stuff.
Raikkonen.
Is he not
Kimmy
doing
was
Mons?
just he was just at the race.
Yeah, he was in Italy.
He was in Italy, and his son was wearing the Trackhouse Racing hat.
That's
the NASCAR car that he
Right,
drove.
because
His son wants to be Max Verstappen. That's
Why?
official.
What if his son goes to NASCAR instead?
That'd be awesome.
Wild.
Kimmy
That'd be
did say. I
crazy.
mean, listen, we don't need to get into like a political discussion right now, but every driver that's come over there and been like, "This is so much more fun. Like, this is a lot of fun."
I think, and I was talking about this with my mom the other day. I definitely think after watching NASCAR is more fun. NASCAR, there's obviously more crashes because it's just you're more prone to crash.
Yeah.
they
And the
allow it.
atmosphere is not. This is gonna sound bad. The F1 was created as this like high class sport, so it's very much more on the fancy side. Everybody's like
Yeah.
super dressed up.
Engineering.
in
I know
hats.
exactly what route
It's
you're going
very
for. And I fully
etiquette,
agree.
like very formal.
Yeah.
NASCAR is like
It was founded on bootleggers trying to
Yeah,
outrun
that's
the
what I'm
cops
saying.
with moonshine.
So I just think that atmosphere is so much more fun. I'm
Yeah.
not
It's
surprised.
like golf or tennis versus UFC.
I could
Yeah.
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 Well, I was gonna say PGA Tour versus Live Golf.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could
Yeah,
be
even
wrong.
example.
I
Yeah.
could be wrong. But am I right to say that NASCAR has a little bit less media than F1 as well?
Yeah,
In
because
terms
it's
of
a
them-
local
In
sport.
terms of like, because I think what Kimmy hated the most about the media was probably those stupid games that they do, like the C-square that they do at Ferrari or whatever.
Yeah, they don't do much of that stuff.
I
and
don't
there's
feel
so
like
many
I've
more
seen much of
drivers.
that.
They
No.
just
Yeah.
can't.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, the social teams for the individual teams are trying to copy F1 a little bit by getting the drivers more on social media through games or whatever, but definitely not nearly as much. No.
Yeah.
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 I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like anybody that tries to compare them between it is formal. Like we're businessmen. No, dude. You go to a NASCAR race and you're in the stands and there's a 55-year-old dude with a beer belly hanging out. He's got no shirt on. He's going, "Let's go,
My
Kyle Larson.
funniest-
I love you, Kyle Larson." He's got
you got-
30
Such a good
rack of
accent.
beer. Oh, I've seen it. I've
Oh,
seen it multiple times.
I
It's my
gotta
dad
say,
occasionally.
I went to the Brickyard weekend at Indianapolis. So there's NASCAR race and then there's the IndyCar race.
Yeah.
And you knew when they would change the music. There's a change in fans. There's the Xfinity, the lower series race, and there's the Just Pray car, like the Jesus He Gets Us.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a group of 3 or 4 fans. Every time you go past, they would hold their hand out, praying for him. It was insane, and he almost won the
That
race.
was
It was
probably-
insane.
That's a Joe Gibbs car.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, yeah.
probably
That was
Ty
the
Gibbs.
19.
Yeah, it was Ty Gibbs.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
That's
okay,
crazy.
yeah.
So that's kind of the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No, absolutely.
was
They're
great.
different. They're different
It was
motorsport
great.
categories. Like you can't. Just like I think it's really difficult to compare the drivers because there's great drivers in NASCAR and there's great drivers in F1. But I don't know that if you put them against each other, there'd be this. I think there'd be a gap. There'd be a big gap. I still
Yeah.
think F1 drivers are. People are not gonna like me for
You
this.
can
but
say
I think
better.
they're better. I think
You
they're
can say
better.
that.
Yeah.
But they're better in a different way because if you put a NASCAR driver in an F1 car, he's not going to do well. But if you put an F1 driver in a NASCAR
Juan Pablo
circuit,
Montoya.
that's not going to work.
Jack
I think most
Villeneuve.
of them wouldn't.
If
work out
Fernando
well.
Alonso would have won the 500 in 2017, which he would have if his engine didn't blow up,
Yeah.
he was made Rookie of the Year too, which is hilarious.
Only fitting.
That would have
Yeah.
made this conversation a lot easier. But
Yeah.
then, that's I gotta leave it there.
Absolutely.
I mean,
All
Marcus Ericsson,
Oh,
prime
yeah.
example.
Yeah, yep.
Well, but Marcus Ericsson was mediocre at best in F1, and then
Yeah,
he went.
that's the
and
point.
won,
Is
so.
he was a title contender this year.
I mean, he's just okay in IndyCar as well. I mean, who's also that? He's not that great.
How many wins does he have?
Two
I don't think
or
he has
three?
any
He has
this
multiple
year.
wins.
Anyways, let's do predictions for the next race, which is next week in Baku.
Yup.
Top threes, peoples.
I'm
wanna
usually
go-
the first one that goes on these, aren't I?
Yeah, you can go. We can go the same order that we were going.
Go the same order?
Like backwards order. Like you, then Steven, then Jason.
Okay, all right. Baku. I do not see Max Verstappen on the podium.
That's. There was a time when I would say that's crazy. Now I'd say that's valid.
Yeah, it's just, I could see it happening. I think we still live in that world where it's 100% he could win that race, but you never know.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see, I don't think Ferrari's going to keep their momentum. I think they'll be okay, but they're not going to be on the podium as well. I'm going to go Lando P1, Oscar P2, George P3.
Nice.
That's going to be my
That's
pull.
a good pull.
Nice.
That's a good pull.
I will say, I was thinking before we started here, as crazy as it sounds, it's getting harder to pick McLaren just because of they always are in position to win, and then they always screw it up.
Baku's a good one to say the two McLarens are going to crash into each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of that, the way that start lines up a lot of times. Like, do you guys remember when Max's tire exploded and we had that restart where it was like, okay, Lewis is going to take the lead in the championship now, and Lewis just like completely fries his tires, goes straight on. Like, that's not that hard to do.
I want to go Lewis 1.
Wow.
Lando 2, Piastri 3.
Nice.
Interesting.
So are we saying Mercedes is going to do well here, I guess?
I think so.
I have a
So
feeling,
we got two predictions with Mercedes on the podium. Jason.
I don't know if Mercedes are going to do well because they're not that fast on the straights. As much as Baku seems like a city circuit, all the slow corners are slow enough that like downforce isn't a huge factor. The straights are massive. I always hear like people. It's literally the longest straight in F1 right now. Is that front straight. People usually optimize for top speed. So I gotta say, who's on top speed right now is Ferrari,
and
McLaren. Mercedes, they struggle with top speed.
Well, I think Red Bull has higher top speed than Mercedes.
Yeah, they do.
Sure.
They do.
Yeah.
That was Lewis Hamilton. I just still remember him complaining over radio in Belgium, like, "Oh, I can't believe they're so much faster."
Yeah.
Anyways, with that all said, I want to be optimistic for Ferrari, but I don't know if they'll get it done. So I'm going to see Norris 1, Leclerc 2, and Piastri 3.
I like
Okay.
it.
The chances of me pulling this one off are so slim. Like,
Then don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
Just don't do it.
Don't
You
do
have
it.
to.
Just say Leclerc
we
is going to
haven't
win,
gotten
and
one
that's
right
okay.
yet,
Yeah.
so I might as well take a shot at it.
We got to celebrate if we get one right.
It's true.
Absolutely.
I think there will be 3 different constructors on the podium, and I don't think any of them will be McLaren.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
I'm going to go...
We're overdue for a safety car, so they better crash.
Yeah, true.
Why does it have to be them, though?
I'm going to go... This is going to sound crazy.
Because they came out with their stupid papaya rules. And now I gotta.
That's
pay the
very
price.
much against papaya rules.
Exactly. That's exactly why
See-
they're
There's
gonna
going to be
crash.
posters next
That's
week.
exactly why there's going to crash, because... Or
He's going
or
to be
maybe,
reading and driving. He's reading a stupid papaya rule book.
Okay,
and
so what if I said...
You're right.
he's like, what does that mean? He
Yeah.
like, looked at the section in the wall.
What if I said
This
that
isn't in the
Oscar was going to overtake Lando, and Lando was going to be fuming, and then Lando's going to go off, and then he's going to finish like just in the top 10,
Wow.
and then Oscar's going to win a race with
I thought you
Carlos
just said
Sainz right
McLaren is
behind
gonna be in
him.
the...
Yeah, I changed my mind. I don't think they're going to crash into each other because papaya rules, but I do think that they're going to play around with each other, and I think that Lando is going to come out behind Oscar because I think
Okay.
Fair enough.
I think right now. It's crazy to say. I kind of think Oscar wants it more. Like, I feel like Oscar has more to prove. Oscar's like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to let you put me as P2 driver.
Well, it's the same thing with Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. Well, let's go all P2 drivers except for Max. I'm gonna go Oscar, Carlos, Max.
Okay.
Okay.
If
All
I
right.
get this right, it'd be so bizarre.
Yeah.
crazy.
That would be
Red Bull.
interesting.
The only reason I put Red Bull still on the podium is because they do have good top speed, and that's important.
True.
Although it is a street circuit, so it's probably bumpy, which sucks for Max, but we'll get through it. Checo out in Q1. Go with that.
Just gotta throw that in there.
I don't have a quote of the day, so thank you guys so much for watching. And we will be back next Monday, 11:30 Eastern Time, as always. Between now and then, though, check out our Instagram and our TikTok at Lights Out Latest. Tech Tuesday, Wag Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, Fun Fact Friday, some man on the street, some edits. It's all there, so check that out. And we'll see you guys next time.